Go with it.
All right, I am here with Carlo. Me and Carlo have known each other, what, probably 2 years?
Yeah.
Safe to say?
Yeah, that's probably
Carlo was one of the guys, and if you go back into the archives or if you've been with us that long, you'll know that Carlo, I always want to call you Carlos, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Carlo was one of the guys that, that put out a series of videos on how to make hot wire tools and whatnot, and he still to this day still dabbles in hot wire foam cutters.
There's all of them right there.
Tell you what, show us some of these bad boys.
All right. Yeah, I'll use this little pointer.
There you go.
Yeah, this is actually the let's see, I think I call this the medium scale vertical tabletop cutter.
And this works a lot like a bandsaw, right?
Yep. And of course it's all up on the wall. I could take it down, but there's plenty of pictures online.
Sure.
I have, you know, I kind of made my own fence with a couple of clamps.
Nice.
And, just a plank of wood, really.
All you need.
And then on either side I have the two, what are those guys called? T-nut fasteners, and that's for the vertical cutter. So you can put a screw in there and then string a line across so you can set a height and cut however many heights you
that's
want.
perfect for grids.
Yeah, and I had it where you can set one side high and one side low and just pass it through and it cuts a perfect angle on the hill.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
We all know how hard that is to do.
Yeah. So that's this one. Of course, the vertical line cutter there. And then to kind of go around from this one is where I adapted the hobby or small tabletop cutter.
Nice. Now is that copper tubing?
Yep. It's just actually here. I think I got it.
There you go.
Two little posts on there. Yeah, this is just.
Check out this bad boy.
Basically, I have an arc of just copper tubing. And then I pretty much mimicked on the underside, you know, just a bolt.
You back up here to have everybody see it, and the wire passes through that PVC, I'm assuming.
Yep. It just attaches right here, and I have my.
Oh, okay. And the wire is exposed.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Electrical connections right on the other side, and of course I have videos online for that too. But yeah, this was, I figured, going to be the perfect design for the hobbyist.
It is, yeah.
Because that was when I was first started making those. I mean, it was like $80 to ship. I mean,
because the big pieces, exactly.
It's this big monster. I mean, even if you collapse it down, but this is about I think 12 by 10 inches.
Yeah, and that's perfect for your perfect for getting started. Exactly.
Yep. So that's a perfect one. And then this was the trend that I went on for the handheld cutters.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
Yep, this is the large scale hand cutter. That's if you're making big, large cuts, big, large mountains. Some of the guys will use those for cutting RC wings too.
Oh really?
Yep, they'll use something that's a little bit larger like this. But from here, I took a step down to the medium hand cutter. And this
look at that bad boy.
Yeah.
That's a big opening there. That's like good 10 inches, I'd say.
Yep, I think so. I think if you took the spring out, you could make it a little bit larger.
Sweet.
And then one step down from there was
these guys.
Cutter.
Yep.
And this pretty much, I mean, it's a really simple design, and same thing, bent copper tubing.
Now, is that due to the conductivity of it? Okay.
Yep. And because these are PVC components, like you won't. It won't short between the two sides. If you try to use like a metal bracket here, or that kind of thing, it'll arc through there.
Because I had a steel plate on my table that I would put mine on, and it would burn out the batteries.
Yep.
Because it would constantly run.
Yep, exactly. And that's why I ended up going with the PVC. But it's as I started to scale these down and down and down that I started to figure out more ways to do it. Because I thought originally, that's got to be the best way to do it. You get this big cutter, you can make tons of cuts.
Sure.
But then this thing is friggin' monstrous.
Right, exactly, yeah. When you want to cut small bricks,
right?
Yeah, that's not going to work real good.
That you're cutting, So that was kind of the trend that it went down. And this actually, this is just a hand block cutter.
Is that cool?
Yeah, some of the guys that do RC wings, they want to have their hands independent and just sort of cut and free float.
And that actually is sharp enough that can just cut it.
Yep, as long as you have it nice and tight and you got the current flowing through it. I mean, some of the guys.
How do you get the current to flow through that? Am I asking an ugly question?
No, it's good.
Because it's very interesting because it's so freeform.
alligator clips.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
you just put the clips on either side.
And that heats her up.
Yep, and it just
and then away you go.
The current passes right through it, and then that's it.
Nice. And is it make a difference of the length of the wire?
Yep. So the temperature, it's sort of, the temperature of the wire is dependent upon both how long the wire is, the gauge, so how thick in diameter it is, but then also the power supply. So it's kind of all three parts that varies your temperature.
Okay.
So if you have, like, let's say you're using a battery, a 12-volt battery. If you have a really short wire, it's going to get super hot. But if you have a really long wire, it's going to be really cold. So you kind of want a power supply that you can
adjust
the. It's in part the voltage, but it's really the amperage that provides the heat. So it's like water pressure. So think about having a lot of water pressure. You can push a ton of water through a pipe, right? That's the same thing with voltage. Voltage is that pressure.
Oh, okay.
The flowing of the electrons is your amperage. So
Gotcha.
it's the amperage that actually heats up your wire, but you need to have that pressure gradient to push it
To
through.
get it to get it there.
Yep.
Cool.
So then from there, everyone's always asking me, what kind of power supply do I need? What kind of power supply? And then I made my own.
Oh, cool.
So,
check it out.
I don't know, Jacobs Online, they're a supplier of nichrome wire.
I'll back up and get both of you in here.
Yeah, but that's where I ended up getting this AC transformer. So
okay.
One of the big things a lot of people try to do when they make their own power supply is use a doorbell transformer. But a doorbell transformer doesn't have enough oomph. You can, if you short circuit a doorbell transformer, it'll heat that wire up really, really well for a couple hours, and then it'll probably go to hell. For these, this is a little bit larger capacity AC transformer. It just looks like a big doorbell transformer. But I put a dimmer switch on there so I can
control the voltage. Got it.
And that's where, and then I have a whole video series on it. I'll send you the link.
How many videos do you think you put out?
I probably have about 20.
Wow.
About 20. And
that's a lot.
I know, and
that's impressive.
I've redone almost all of them too.
Holy mackerel.
Because the original ones were just me standing in my garage doing it, and pointing and so on and so forth. But I tried to up the production quality,
Good for you.
Photos and all that kind of stuff.
So. That's cool.
So, but yeah, that was
the magic of editing.
Right. Yes, editing. Right. Got that. But yeah, that was kind of
I'll get a close up for the guys so they can check this bad boy out. You'll probably have to flip your video upside down to make heads or tails of it, but but that's what it looks like.
So, yeah, that's pretty much the skinny on hot wire foam cutting.
And I noticed you have it next to your toys. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your toys?
Yeah, that was so originally way back when there wasn't anybody in the area who played Warhammer, at least that I knew of. I was new to the area. I moved up here, northern Wisconsin. And I wanted to at least get back
Desolation Inc.
I at least wanted to get back into the hobby of Warhammer. So I was going to start making terrain, and that's how I ended up finding you.
Right.
Terrainaholic he's the guy you watch, and Cam Lupian, of course, was the other one. So
right.
That I watched, and I ended up watching Viv after that. But so it just seemed like everyone had or needed hot wire foam cutters. That's what you need or you use. It makes it so much easier.
Sure,
exactly. Bandsaws are nice, and it's like, but if we're talking like a hobbyist in a little small corner, not everyone.
Right, in this big bandsaw, like they're gonna put that in their apartment as opposed to something like this guy. Big difference.
So that's what I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna make terrain, I want to do it right, and I want to get, I want to at least do a hot wire foam cutter. And I was like, well, they're pretty expensive. Let me see if I can make one, So that's how that started.
Here comes the farmer.
Yeah. So then once I got all of that done, I started to get back into the Warhammer stuff. And I had played Warhammer, 15, 16 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, so you're talking old timer here.
Old time stuff. So I have a lot of old figures, and a lot of the newer stuff, of course, the guys are in these sweet poses, and they're attacking.
Well, that's how they get you to buy the new ones, of course.
Yeah, the old pieces is just a guy just standing there.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And there's 50 of them, all like that.
Right. And one might have the spear angled slightly forward as opposed to slightly back.
Right, yeah. They change one, And now it's you got the arms, you got the torso, you got the legs, and you got to put it together.
What happened to the one-piecers?
Right, yeah. It's like maybe you glue a shield on it.
Right, yeah. That was the big change up.
Yeah, or put him on a horse, you know, and oh, yeah,
Woohoo!
cavalry, but yeah, so that's, yeah, I don't know.
Well, why don't you show me that cool conversion job you did with your Empire guys?
Yeah, so the first Empire I played, of course these aren't painted yet, but the first army I started collecting was the Empire back in the day. But with the new Empire book coming out, I wanted to make a unit of witch hunters. And I had gotten a Chaos Battalion for a gift, so...
I gotta get this in the light.
Yeah.
Show these bad boys out.
I can do better.
Check this out. He's got the Chaos cloaks on these bad boys.
Yep, pretty much I changed all their weapons and heads.
Wow.
And then, of course, I had the green stuff in all their shoulders to make
That's a lot of green stuff.
Yeah, and I had never done green stuff before, so I tried it out, and it ended up working for me. So
tell me about your centerpiece on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
The poor innocent victim.
Yeah. No witch hunter is perfect. That's all right. No big deal.
I found him.
Got him.
We got him.
There you go. Yeah. No witch hunter.
Guy out.
You know, without having someone on a pitch stake.
Right, with a roaring fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll have
that is so cool
for that, but it's just magnetized. You move it around, it's fine.
I didn't know how hard he was on.
So yeah, what I did was I the guy from
that is so cool.
Giant box set, the guy that's running with his arms up in the
right, him?
Yeah,
is that him?
That's him. Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me!
No,
how cool is that?
I cut his arms off and I angled him back and I kind of green stuffed him on, and
that is
so
nice.
I kind of tried to make rope, and that didn't turn out all that well, but yeah.
Oh, I think it's very convincing.
Yeah. That's what I was going for, and I just used it
trying
as a
to find
filler.
him. They're like, "What are you talking about? Look at that twisted metal.
Yeah,
that's awesome."
Yeah. So yeah, that's that guy. So hopefully that'll paint up well. I'll probably put a little bit of smoke on it, but that's an easy way to put four guys in a unit.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You covering one guy in 4 spaces.
Yep.
Okay, who are these bad boys?
These guys I'm using as militia, but they were a Marauders set.
Oh wow!
So kind of the same thing.
So they're rough and tough.
Yeah.
Empire guys.
Yeah. So I kind of used some of the heads from some of the Chaos heads, but I did have some other Empire heads, and I bought some arms and bits and that kind of thing. So
I do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
I think we're all guilty of that at one point or another.
Yeah. Anything that you can mix and match and.
Oh yeah.
There, so
they look buff too.
Yeah.
They totally look like. Something above pirates.
That's what I was going for.
Not by much, but pretty close.
Right, yeah, either landlubbers, right?
Exactly, exactly.
So yeah, that was kind of. I actually had started out with this unit. It was the first conversion work I have officially ever done was that unit.
Wow.
But the next one is one of the guys at the. I don't really have anything converted yet, but one of the guys at the hobby shop, he.
Oh, I see a giant up there.
Yep, he sold me all of his.
Oh, you got the ogre stuff.
Yeah, ogres.
Sweet.
So some of it's painted.
Check out these bad boys.
Some of it's painted.
Oh, is that pretty? Look at that helm.
But that is bad. The other ones that
nice. I always like that partial snow look.
Yeah. I like that.
Really
the way that
is
he did that because I kind of like it a bit warmer. Like a lot of the snow stuff is almost too cool. You know, too blue, you know, but I think that gives a lot of variability.
Well, this is almost like you get like that wasteland snow look.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't take any credit for that. But
that's pretty though.
My goal is that I'll kind of do the conversion work on my ogres.
Oh, we were talking about this. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how these guys came into working into your master plan here?
I knew I wanted to do some type of conversions, and originally I thought I was going to do a Nurgle theme ogre army. And it's not to talk trash about ogre or Nurgle themes. It just seemed like a lot of people had that, so it.
Well, they like that extra wound.
Right.
They want that extra wound.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted to go a little bit more unique, and that's when some of the guys at the club were playing. Hordes, or they were talking about Hordes or playing War Machine or something like that, and that's when I found the Troll Bloods. And they kind of like these rocky, you know, kind of, I don't know, rock half-breed troll things.
Kind of like the Skaven with the warpstone sticking out of them.
There you go, yeah. So, and I figure, you know, some of the lore behind the ogres is, you know, they have that kind of wasteland where, you know, the maw hit the earth, or, you know, and There's a lot of mutations that occur around it. So I'm
Sure.
like, I can totally make this work. But
Definitely.
that's what I want to go with is stones, and I'm going to use...
Yeah, check this out.
I have just so much. I mean, this is just one little small bag, but I have a ton of
The
talus.
Camelupian will be so proud of you right now.
I hope so. I hope so.
Steve is grinning ear to ear if he's
Right.
watching this.
Yeah, so just a bunch of talus. So I'm hoping with green stuff I can kind of work it into their shoulders and wrists.
Give it that same feel.
Stone feel. I think that'd look pretty cool for an over.
And it would make it very unique, very yours.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that.
No, and that's what I was hoping.
Oh, look
for.
at this guy.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, is that cool?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's actually from that because the guy gave me a Tupperware container full of bits.
Oh, you gotta love that.
That's right.
You can't have too many bits.
No.
Oh, is that slick, man?
So-
That is really nice.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I agree with you. I like that kind of warmer wasteland snow theme.
It's very good at inking too.
Yeah.
That's something I was never any good at. I gotta get good at that someday.
We know.
Yeah.
Along with everything else.
Right. Yeah.
So you got quite a few boxes.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. I mean, this is these two are my old Empire boxes. This is pretty much all the work in progress ogre stuff. I bought some of the newer stuff. I got a newer box of the great swords for the Empire, and
Nice.
it's just finding that time.
Why don't you tell us about what's going on at the club? Because that's kind of a neat concept that your guy was doing.
Yeah, we're having a year-long escalation league, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, we started out in January. We only have to play 2 games a month, which is very doable. I mean, for 30 different guys who have their own schedules, for the most part, you can get 2 games in a month. But we started out in January with 500 points, and then it goes up 250 points every month. So January 500, then 750, 1,000, 1,250, so on and so forth.
So there's gonna be some big battles at the end of this.
We're hoping towards the end of the year we're going to get some of the what do they call it? Storms of Magic. Is that?
Oh yeah, that's some cool stuff right there.
I haven't played any of that.
Because it's not only just the towers, but they got tons of creatures.
Right. Yep. So we're hoping that we can get some of those big battles in towards the end of the year. But it's fun because each month they'll have a different scenario where we'll do the watchtower where take over the tower.
So it's not just pitch battle every month.
Yeah. And there's other things like just last month there was we had 5 pieces of magical terrain. So we would randomly placed, and if you were negatively affected or positively affected by the terrain, you would get a bonus point for that round towards the tournament. And so there's always little fun things like that. I think,
sure. So it's not just hack and slash. How many formations can we kill?
Yeah.
Or your general, or right.
Yeah, and that's what it was. I think one of the scenarios this month it's the rookies. Is you have to have one lord. That you have to protect. The rookies have to protect the lord. So if you kill the lord, then the game's over and you win. Rather than doing victory points. And,
sounds a lot like War Machine.
Yeah.
Kill the caster.
Kill the caster. Right. Yeah. So and I'm sure that's where some of the ideas come from.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. All these guys play the other games for sure.
Yeah.
So now you primarily play Warhammer. Have you tried out any other game systems?
I haven't, and I think a lot of it, honestly, is just time. Because
learning the rules.
Yes. The club just started a War Machine sect. A different group of guys who they started out playing Warhammer. Hey, let's go ahead and start playing a couple of games of Hordes or War Machine. So it's definitely at a point where yes,
and you're actually set up very nicely to do both. Via actual troops and proxies.
Yeah, right, and that was kind of my thought too. Is at least if I wanted to play a horde army, I could just grab some of the or conversion models I'm doing. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I want to really quick. I know this is going on 20 minutes, guys. So if you're not into gaming, or if you're not into farm stuff, you might not want to watch the rest of this, but this is so impressive. Yeah. I want to give a quick show of his farm here. He bought this a couple years ago.
Yeah,
1 or 2.
This is our second year.
Second year.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, they got this beautiful gazebo as you come in the front. They've got this massive silo. Yeah. Look at this monster. And this we were looking at this barn.
Yeah.
And we think this has got to be over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Because it's got hand-hewn timbers holding it up on the inside.
Yep.
And I don't think they were hand-hewn like a couple years back.
In the 50s, yeah, I know.
But it's so cool. They have real pigs in a pen over here. They've got chickens over here. He built kind of a hen enclosure or a chicken enclosure right off where they used to milk cows. I mean, it's so neat to see this kind of stuff going on. We'll shoot over here to, maybe they're in out of the sun now, but they were out earlier.
Yeah, there's a couple hens hiding in the bush over there.
Got a couple of hens over there. Beautiful house.
Oh yeah, they're out. Pigs
And I
are
mean,
out.
just the beautifulest country you could ask for. Plenty of fields, plenty of trees. Just fantastic. And just a little something about Carlos. Carlos, what do you do for a living, buddy?
I am a small animal emergency veterinarian.
And that keeps you pretty busy, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
What kind of crazy hours do you work?
That's at least what pays the bills, I guess, right?
Right, we all gotta pay our bills.
Yeah. I work, my shifts are 15 hours long. So
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll usually work from 5 p.m. until the next morning's 8 a.m.
Wow.
We work like 15 to 17 days a month, depending on the month. Sometimes a little bit less than that, but but we get a decent amount
And
of
we
time
have pigs, so we gotta show off the pigs now.
Yep.
Check this out, guys.
They're laying in their water again.
Yeah. They're like, you didn't give me that jacuzzi.
I know. I gotta get them a mud puddle. That's what they're doing over here. That one's
The
just...
pig jacuzzi.
Look how dirty that one's getting.
Oh jeez, look at this one. Where's his face?
Yeah.
Is there a face under there?
Ever heard of a clean pig?
I think these were, for a very short period of time, very clean pigs, but I don't think that's happening anymore.
Well, they found the mud. That's
right.
as far as that went.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So 15-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
So what's the biggest animal that you work on?
Usually just large dogs, Great Danes.
Great Danes?
Yeah.
Those are. You ever work on a Mastiff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. English Mastiffs. Yep. Yeah.
Those are impressively
dogs.
big.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are. Yeah. My wife for a while. She's a veterinarian too. That's how we met, was in vet school. But
Cool.
she did dairy work for a while.
Gotcha.
But she's this tall, $110 wet.
Right.
You know, it's the cold Wisconsin winters really didn't take to her very long.
I hear ya.
Getting farm calls at 3 a.m. to pull a calf, it's like, not when it's 10 below.
Right? Yeah, they don't do it based on what's convenient for you, that's for sure.
I joke, the warmest part of the cow is inside of them. Oh, that pig just got dirt on me.
You know you're in the
Farm.
country when
Yeah.
you get to say that.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's cool.
don't hear
They
that
also
a lot.
have like a back 40 back there that's very impressive.
Yep.
And
Growing
just,
beans.
yeah, it's just super duper cool out here.
Thank you.
So-
We try to have fun with it.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Really super nice. And I found out that he's kind of on my way in to see my folks. So you'll be seeing more of these videos.
Yeah. As
But,
we progress.
Thank you, Carlos, so much for sharing what you do with us. And I'm sure the community's going to love this.
All right, fantastic.
Thanks much, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah.